At the start of the semester, Takashi Komuro experiences a rift in his friendship with his childhood pal Rei Miyamoto. Feeling down, he steps outside and sees a zombie, or them, attacking near the school's entrance. Takashi rushes to alert Rei and his buddy Hisashi Igo, who's dating Rei. Together, they flee just in time before word of the attack spreads, sending the school into a frenzy. As they flee, they encounter Mr. Wakisaka, a teacher now turned into a zombie. Sadly, he bites Hisashi on the arm before Takashi swiftly dispatches him by crushing his head. With urgency mounting, they barricade themselves on the rooftop. From there, they witness Self-Defense Force helicopters swooping in to tackle the zombie outbreak in the city, unaware of the chaos unfolding within the school. As Hisashi's condition worsens, Takashi is left with no choice but to end his suffering, much to Rei's dismay. Emotions run high as Rei lashes out at Takashi, but her anger softens after she apologizes. In a moment of vulnerability, they share a brief embrace, finding solace in each other's arms amidst the turmoil. While Saya Takagi and Kota Hirano narrow their way around the zombies, Rei attempts to contact her father, only to receive a distressing message before the line goes dead. Meanwhile, Saiko Busujima, the Kendo Club president, comes to the rescue of the school nurse, Shizuka Marikawa, fending off zombies with her expertise. In the midst of the chaos, Kota ingeniously assembles a nail gun, while Takashi and Rei successfully fend off zombies on their end. However, as Kota's ammunition dwindles and Saya struggles to cope with the mounting pressure, the other survivors rally together to combat the undead threat. With a plan to seek refuge at Takashi's house and check on their families, they soon realize that the situation is far graver than they initially imagined. The outbreak has spiraled out of control, casting a shadow of uncertainty over their journey ahead. The survivors are left reeling when they discover the staggering scope of the zombie pandemic, realizing it has engulfed the entire world. In a desperate bid for survival, Takashi puts a theory to the test, proposing that zombies are drawn to sound. However, their carefully laid plans are thrown into disarray when one of the survivors inadvertently triggers a noise, attracting a horde of zombies. As they battle their way to the safety of the bus, they suffer heartbreaking losses along the way. Spotting another group of survivors approaching, tensions rise when Rei recognizes one of their former teachers, Koichi Shido. Her hesitation about letting him aboard reflects the uncertainty and mistrust that pervades their newfound reality. After breaking free from the confines of the school, Rei rebels against Shido's self-appointed leadership and storms off the bus in defiance. Determined to bring her back, Takashi follows her, only to find themselves trapped in a tunnel when a bus filled with zombies crashes, blocking their path. With no other choice, they agree to rendezvous with the rest of the survivors later. Amidst the chaos, they encounter a zombie motorcyclist, whom they dispatch with fierce determination. Spotting the abandoned motorcycle, Takashi and Rei seize the opportunity to make their way towards the city, braving the dangers that lie ahead as they forge their own path forward. Recalling past events through Takashi's eyes, he and Rei navigate through the city, their journey marked by uncertainty and danger. Along the way, they stumble upon an abandoned police car, its occupants lifeless. Rei seizes the opportunity to scavenge for supplies, finding an expandable baton, a revolver, and ammunition. Their next stop is a gas station where they hope to refuel their motorcycle. While Takashi attends to the gas pump, Rei's moment of vulnerability is shattered when she's ambushed by a deranged survivor. Held captive and subjected to a horrifying ordeal, Rei's distress is swiftly ended by Takashi's decisive action as he eliminates the threat with a single shot. With their motorcycle replenished, Takashi and Rei waste no time in resuming their journey, leaving the crazed survivor to face the wrath of the encroaching undead. As they speed away, they leave behind the grim aftermath of their encounter, determined to press forward despite the harrowing challenges that lie ahead. At Kansai International Airport, Rika Minami and her Special Assault Team squad spring into action, aiding in the evacuation efforts by clearing zombies from the runway to ensure the safe passage of civilians. Meanwhile, Takashi and Rei find themselves navigating through a perilous war zone, caught between deranged survivors and relentless zombies. Their escape leads them to the shocking realization that all bridges have been sealed off by authorities, a desperate measure taken to stem the influx of infected civilians into the city. Recognizing the futility of remaining under Shido's leadership, Saya, Kota, Saiko, and Shizuka make a decisive choice to depart from the bus, spurred on by Kota's determined persuasion. Their journey leads them to Onbetsu Bridge, where they are met with a perilous encounter with a horde of zombies. Just when all hope seems lost, Takashi and Rei arrive in the nick of time, rescuing their friends from imminent danger. With nightfall approaching and the need for shelter pressing, Shizuka suggests seeking refuge at the apartment of her friend Rika, spotting a Humvee parked nearby as a sign of safety. However, their respite is short-lived as they find the apartment building surrounded by zombies. Undeterred, the group prepares for a fierce battle as they brace themselves to confront the undead threat and secure their temporary sanctuary. After successfully clearing the apartment of zombies, the girls luxuriate in the bath, relishing a moment of respite, while the boys take stock of the household's weapons and ammunition, ensuring their readiness for the challenges ahead. Meanwhile, tensions mount at the police blockade as both zombies and desperate civilians, led by a conspiracy theorist, converge on the scene. With no support forthcoming from higher authorities, the police are left with no choice but to resort to lethal measures to maintain order. Back at the apartment, Takashi finds himself grappling with the consequences of his friend's inebriation. Rei and Shizuka, both under the influence, engage in a heated argument that escalates into a tense confrontation. Despite Rei's advances, Takashi exercises restraint, choosing to navigate the delicate situation with caution. As tensions simmer inside, a sudden disturbance outside interrupts the uneasy calm. The barking of a dog, later identified as Zero, rings out, inadvertently drawing the attention of the encroaching zombies, signaling the onset of a new threat. As Takashi and his companions cautiously assess their surroundings with subdued lighting, a desperate father's attempt to find shelter for his daughter, Alice Marasato, ends tragically when he falls victim to the paranoia of fellow survivors. Amidst the chaos, Alice's cries for help draw the attention of nearby zombies, prompting Takashi to spring into action. With Kota providing invaluable sniper support, Takashi embarks on a daring mission to rescue Alice from certain peril. Meanwhile, the girls, recognizing the untenable situation at the apartment, hastily prepare to evacuate. With the streets teeming with undead threats, Takashi, accompanied by Alice and faithful canine companion Zero, navigates the perilous terrain, carefully traversing atop the fence for safety. As they await rescue, the rest of the group rushes to Takashi's aid, determined to reunite and forge a path forward together. With their immediate safety secured, they make the unanimous decision to seek refuge on the opposite side of the river, embarking on a perilous journey towards an uncertain future. As chaos reigns supreme, zombies breach the sanctity of Air Force One, plunging the highest echelons of power into turmoil. With both the chairman and the president succumbing to infection, desperation takes hold as the chairman implores the president to initiate the launch of their intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, convinced that retaliation from other nations is imminent. However, before his transformation into a zombie is complete, the chairman meets his demise, leaving a grim legacy of destruction in his wake. Meanwhile, on the other side of the river, Takashi's group finds themselves in a desolate landscape devoid of both civilians and the undead. Seizing the moment to regroup and prepare for the challenges ahead, they exchange their worn-out attire for fresh clothing and familiarize themselves with their newfound arsenal of weapons. Unified in purpose, they resolve to make their way to Saya's house, viewing its proximity as a beacon of hope in the midst of uncertainty. With determination fueling their steps, they set forth on their journey, bracing themselves for whatever trials may lie ahead. As Takashi's group edges closer to their destination, their progress is impeded by an increasing horde of zombies, their numbers swelling ominously with each passing moment. An unexpected obstacle in the form of a wire barrier catches them off guard, leading to Rei's precarious fall from the Humvee. With the odds stacked against them and armed with unfamiliar weaponry, the group must summon every ounce of their courage and resourcefulness to fend off the relentless onslaught of the undead. Despite their valiant efforts, they find themselves outnumbered and overwhelmed, forcing Takashi and Saiko to devise a daring plan to lead the zombies away from their vulnerable comrades. However, just as all seems lost, a ray of hope emerges in the form of an unexpected ally, a group of firefighters led by none other than Saya's mother, Yuriko Takagi. With their timely intervention, the beleaguered survivors find a renewed sense of strength and determination, enabling Takashi and Saiko to chart a new course towards safety while the others are safeguarded by their newfound allies. Amidst the relentless pursuit of the undead, Takashi and Saiko employ a daring strategy, acquiring an amphibious vehicle to navigate the treacherous waters and evade their relentless pursuers. Taking refuge on a sandbank in the middle of the river, they devise a plan to lure the zombies away by ditching their vehicle in a park fountain, with Saiko bravely confronting the horde head-on. However, their resolve is tested when they encounter a group of zombie children, causing Saiko to falter momentarily. In a moment of vulnerability, she confides in Takashi about a dark chapter from her past, revealing her struggle with the darker aspects of her own nature. In a surprising turn of events, Takashi responds to her confession with a gesture of affection, igniting a spark of hope amidst the chaos. As the morning light heralds the encroaching threat of the undead, Saiko, grappling with her inner demons, finds newfound strength and resolve in Takashi's unwavering belief in her. Embracing their flaws and confronting their inner turmoil head-on, Takashi and Saiko emerge triumphant, their bond strengthened by their shared journey of self-discovery. With their newfound resolve, they press on towards their destination, united in their quest for survival and redemption. After a day of seeking refuge within the heavily fortified confines of Saya's mansion, the group faces a critical juncture. Whether to remain under the guardianship of her family and staff, albeit subjected to a more sheltered existence, or to venture out independently, retaining their autonomy in the face of uncertainty. Tensions simmer within the group, particularly between Saya and her father, Soichiro Takagi, a prominent figure in Japanese politics known for his nationalist stance. Saya harbors resentment towards her father for prematurely assuming her demise during the outbreak while taking decisive measures to fortify the neighborhood. However, Takashi's pragmatic intervention, highlighting the undeniable fact of her parents' survival, serves to quell her simmering anger and restore a semblance of calm. The arrival of Soichiro Takagi further underscores the gravity of their predicament. In a chilling display of the harsh realities they confront, he dispatches his zombified acquaintance before the eyes of the survivors, a stark reminder of the perilous nature of their circumstances. Kota, not wanting to lose his guns and become useless, refuses to give up his guns to Soichiro's men. When Soichiro arrives to question Kota, the others come to his defense. Meanwhile, one of the students who stayed with Shido reports the situation at the mansion to Shido himself, who is presiding over an orgy between the students. As tensions escalate within the mansion, Saya takes on the challenging task of soothing a group of survivors who remain resistant to accepting the grim reality of their situation. Amidst the turmoil, an unexpected turn of events sees Takashi unexpectedly thrust into the role of leader, a responsibility he never anticipated. Meanwhile, Soichiro Takagi, in a gesture of appreciation and respect, bestows upon Saiko a treasured katana, acknowledging her valor in safeguarding his daughter and paying homage to Saiko's father for his teachings. As the group deliberates plans to rescue their remaining loved ones, the tranquil atmosphere is shattered by the arrival of Shido and his acolytes at the mansion. Rei, consumed by anger and fueled by a deep-seated grudge, confronts Shido with ferocity, revealing the source of her animosity towards him. Yet, in a surprising display of restraint, Rei ultimately chooses to spare Shido's life, recognizing that he is not worthy of becoming a victim of her vendetta. Meanwhile, on a global scale, geopolitical tensions reach a breaking point as the specter of nuclear conflict looms large. In a chilling sequence of events, a U.S. submarine receives orders to launch a preemptive nuclear strike, while tensions between the U.S. and Russia escalate to the brink of catastrophe, witnessed with horror by the crew aboard the International Space Station. As tensions between nations escalate to the brink of war, the US and Japanese naval forces find themselves compelled to join forces in a desperate bid to intercept and neutralize Chinese missile strikes. Despite their concerted efforts, a single missile breaches their defenses, unleashing devastation upon Japanese soil. The resulting electromagnetic pulse, EMP, from the explosion wreaks havoc on nearby electronics, triggering a catastrophic chain of events. The chaos caused by the EMP-induced breakdown proves catastrophic for Shido and his followers as their bus careens out of control, obliterating one of the barricades intended to safeguard the survivors. As a massive horde of ravenous zombies descends upon the mansion, panic grips the remaining inhabitants, with even the most vocal dissenters falling victim to the relentless onslaught. In a desperate bid to ensure the safety of the survivors, Soichiro Takagi issues a decisive order to fortify the mansion's defenses. However, the sheer force of the zombie onslaught proves overwhelming, breaching the once impenetrable gates and plunging the mansion into chaos. With no other recourse, the Takagis rally their followers and the remaining survivors, urging them to fight for their lives and seek refuge in a new haven yet to be overrun by the undead. Entrusting Saya's safety to Takashi and his companions, the Takagis lead the charge to their awaiting Humvee, spared from the EMP's destructive reach. With their means of escape secured, the group embarks on a perilous journey, leaving behind a fierce battle as the survivors valiantly defend their dwindling sanctuary against the relentless tide of zombies. Despite the grim circumstances, a glimmer of hope shines through as the group presses on, their determination unwavering as they set their sights on a new sanctuary amidst the chaos, a sprawling mall, a beacon of refuge in a world consumed by darkness.